broke my keyboard. Hi everyone, my name is Angie and this is me, my natural habitat. If you ever have like a crazy idea like me, for example this one, just do not attempt. So this is a $300 lesson. I bought this keyboard back in 2019, so it's been 3 years. It served me well for like the past 3 years. I got it at discount during a sale, but then I have to buy myself like a replacement keyboard, right? Because I broke this, so it kind of added up. So what my brilliant idea was I wanted to change out the switches on the keyboard to a specific one that I like to use. And the genius in me thought that, you know, if they are the keyboards, they're all the same, like the switches would be the same. And if I had stopped after removing my first switch, I would have prevented this whole keyboard from breaking, but I didn't. So here we are. So what happened was I found this kind of switch that I like to use. So I'm the kind of annoying people that likes to use clicky switches. I just like them. I like how they sound. So I really like the KO Chinese green switches, which was what I put in my own keyboard, like the first keyboard I ever built. And then I wanted something tactile for my gaming macro pad. So I got the Eco Ocean Blue switches. I really like those. So I bought like 3 boxes of them, like 100 plus of them. And I wanted to put it in this Logitech keyboard because I got too used to the KO Chinese green switches at home, and they are clicky, but they are not that sharp. It might be because of the keycaps as well. And changing out the switch would open up my option to the kind of keycaps that I can put on my keyboard. So I thought like, yeah, it's a great idea. I just change out the switch, and then like open this whole new world of keycaps to myself that I can use in the office as well. But no. So Logitech uses different switch as compared to everyone else in the world. I'm not sure about Razer because I've never opened one of their keyboards before, but I will assume that you guys are smart enough to keep it the same, or dumb enough to keep it the same, whichever is the case. But basically, the metal pins on the switches are a mirror of every other switch in the world. So you can see on the photo here, typically for every other switch or every other major like switch manufacturer, they manufacture their pins in these locations, whereas for the Logitech, it's mirrored, but it's not even like a perfect mirror. Like if I were to try and put the switch on the other side of the PCB, it doesn't work. Like it just has its own configuration. So, and I only realized this after I took out every single switch on the keyboard and I tried to replace with the new switch, with the Eco switches. And I'm just like, I could have avoided this. The other thing that I realized after opening up the Logitech is, this is something that was just strange to me, because like the first time I tried to solder switches onto a PCB for my macro pad, the solder were quite shiny because they are metal, right? Like conductors, but the solders on the Logitech was quite dull. It like has this dull grey color, and at multiple points, when I tried to heat it up to remove the solder, it kind of exploded. So like it kind of flew everywhere, and I got heat on like quite a few places also. Yeah, so that was kind of strange to me. Like what the heck do you mix into your solder to make it like explode like that under heat? But in any case, so this keyboard is just broken now. I mean, I'll show you my time lapse of me trying to remove everything and solder everything back. but basically what happened was I couldn't like remove the solder clean, so a lot of the switches were getting stuck even after like using the solder pump and like trying to get out as much solder as I possibly could. The switches were still getting stuck, and I think when I was trying to like pry out the switches, I broke quite a number of connectors. So some of those connectors that I thought I broke actually still work. Like after I placed the switch back in and I soldered it back, they still work. But I think I remember distinctively that I broke a wire, a cable that was on the PCB for the middle section of the keys, and I broke a connector that's on a numpad as well, so those are definitely not working. I did try to go online to find like one of those keyboard testers, so this is what ended up being what works and what doesn't. So like in the middle row is like every alternate key, so that must have been that cable that I broke. And number 5 just doesn't work, which is expected because that connector is broken as well. Everything else technically works. I do have a few like random switch here and there that just does not respond. But in any case, this keyboard is gone, so I'm just keeping the keycaps as replacement for the keyboard I have at home, because I have a G915 at home, the wireless version. This is the wired version. So I'm keeping the keycaps as replacement if I wear out any of my keycaps, which is happening to my colleagues, so I'm passing them some of my keys as well. So I'm keeping this. I got myself as a replacement the glorious GMMK mechanical keyboard bare bones kit. It's a very long name. So I'm guessing this is the GMMK1 version. So it's wired, that has no wireless connectivity. The wire is not even like detachable, it's attached on the keyboard itself, which is fine. It's sitting in office, I'm not moving it anywhere. So I got that one because I already have like 3 boxes of Echo switches. So I planted those switches in, configured everything. The strange part was, for some reason, because that keyboard, I think it was quite an old product, so it technically isn't compatible with Mac OS. Although if you plug a keyboard, it will still work. The only difference being the control alternate Windows keys are now in like control, option, command, all that kind of stuff. So it took me a while to figure out which button was which, because for the life of me, I couldn't find where my command was. So trying to command C everything and I couldn't, and like I went through all my modifier keys and I couldn't find where the heck command was, until finally I found out that control was command, and even if I changed control to command, my control button still worked as a control button on the Mac, which is strange. So I did a modifier key and now that keyboard works. The main thing that first started this crazy idea was just that I wanted my own set of keycaps. So I did. I'm studying like a third language right now, so studying Korean, which is helpful to have that Korean characters on my keycap so that I can see what I'm typing, which is what I have on my keyboard at home as well. So there we go. If you are ever attempting something like this, please don't. At least not for Logitech. You can try it for Razer, you can try it for other keyboards on the market, but Logitech just uses everything like their own stuff, basically. They have their own version of everything. So just don't bother trying to mod a Logitech keyboard. Yep, $300 lesson. Like, I genuinely enjoy Logitech's products. Like the G915 and G815. Even though the clicks are really sharp, I still enjoy using them. But it's just gotten a bit too sharp for me. Like, it feels really different, and because they have their low profile switch and the keycaps, right? Like, it feels really plasticky as compared to like PBT keycaps. Maybe I'm just too spoiled by my PBT keycaps now, but it feels very different and it sounds different as well. So I wanted to change it, but yeah, don't attempt, don't even try. So yeah, hope you learned something out of my mistake, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.